Okay. Continue reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 11, the universal form, text 39. Vayuryamugnir varuna shashanka
Vayuryamugnir varuna satanka
Prajapatis from Pratipamahascha
Prajapati tvam prapistamahascha
Namo namastestu sahasrakritva
Namo namastestu sahasrakritva
Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste.
Punascha bhuyopi namo namaste.
Someone will read.
Yeah, I can read.
Okay.
Translation. You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again, yet again. The Lord is addressed here as air because the air is the most important representation of all the demigods. Being all pervasive, Arjuna also addresses Krishna as a great grandfather because he is the father of Brahma, the first living creature in the universe.
So when Arjuna is calling Krishna air, does it mean that Krishna has become the air and that Krishna, the person, doesn't exist anymore? He's saying you are the air, you are the fire, you are the water, you are the moon, you're Brahma. And then does it mean that the person Krishna doesn't exist anymore? No, Krishna still exists.
Krishna resides everywhere.
Yeah. It's not that Krishna has become the air. The air belongs to Krishna. It's an energy of Krishna. Like the sun planet, the sunshine is coming from the sun planet. But because the sunshine is there, it doesn't mean the sun planet does not exist anymore. The sun planet is also there, the sunshine is also there. The sunshine is the energy of the sun. Similarly, Krishna, the person, is eternally existing. He has a transcendental body. And this air, fire, water, they are all his energies. Yeah, they're all his energies. And that's how Krishna is everywhere, by his energies, just as the sunshine is everywhere. So we say the sun is everywhere because the sunshine is there. So the sunshine is also there, the sun is also there. So the person Krishna, he's there, he's in Golok Vrindavan, in the highest planet of the spiritual world. And somehow or the other, we should try to get the desire, oh, even I want to go to this Golok Vrindavan and be with Krishna. Because many people think, oh, now because that Krishna has become all these things, now Krishna, the person, doesn't exist. They give the example that you take a piece of paper and then you tear the paper into many different parts, and so the original paper is not there. But Krishna is not paper. Krishna is a transcendental, the supreme transcendental person. He's supremely conscious. Paper is material, paper is unconscious. So we cannot compare paper to Krishna. Cannot compare apples and oranges. Yeah? So
Yes.
Nama purastad atha prishtataste
Nama purastad atha prishtataste
Namastu te sarvata eva sarva
Namostute sarvata eva sarva
अनन्तवीर्यामितविक्रमस्त्वं
अनन्तवीर्यामितविक्रमस्त्वं
सर्वं समाप्नोषि ततोऽसि सर्वः.
सर्वं समप्नोषि ततोऽसि सर्वा. Translation. Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. Purport. Out of loving ecstasy for Krishna, his friend Arjuna is offering his respects from all sides. He is accepting that he is the master of all potencies and all prowess and far superior to all the great warriors assembled on the battlefield. It is said in the Vishnu Purana, Yo yam tavagato deva samipam devatagana satvam eva jagat rasta yata sarvagato bhavan. Whoever comes before you, even if he is a demigod, is created by you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So the demigods also belong to Krishna. We may think that, oh, we are part and parcel of Krishna, but the demigods are not part and parcel of Krishna, that they are independent gods. No, even the demigods are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna as Paramatma is also sitting in the heart of the demigods. It's not that the demigods are equal to Krishna. No, no one is equal to Krishna. No one is greater than Krishna. Huh? So all-pervading, omnipresent, as we say, all-pervading. Krishna is all-pervading by his energies, as we just read, no? Air, water, fire. He's everywhere. And as the Paramatma, he's everywhere, in every atom and in the heart of every living entity. So it's Krishna. It's either Krishna or Krishnas, means either Krishna or belonging to Krishna. So there's a person, Krishna, and everything belongs to him. Everyone, everything is his energy. Sakheti matva prasadbham yadoktam.
Sakheti matva prasabham yat uktam.
He Krishna, he Yadava, he Sakheti.
He Krishna, He Yadava, He Sakheti.
Agyata mahimanam tavedam.
Ajnanatamahimanam tavedam.
Maya pramadat pranayena vapi.
Maya pramadat pranayena vapi.
Yachavahasarthamasatkritosi.
Yachavahasartham asatkratosi.
Viharashayasana bhojaneshu.
Viharasaya sanam bhojanesu.
Eko tavapi achyutatat samaksham.
Ego tavapi achyuta tat samaksam.
Tachamaye tvam aham aprameyam.
Tat shamaye shamaye tvam aham aprameyam. Translation. Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together. sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. Purport. Although Krishna is manifested before Arjuna in his universal form, Arjuna remembers his friendly relationship with Krishna and is therefore asking pardon and requesting Krishna to excuse him for the many informal gestures which arise out of friendship. He is admitting that formally he did not know that Krishna could assume such a universal form, although Krishna explained it as his intimate friend. Arjuna did not know how many times he may have dishonored Krishna by addressing him, O my friend, O Krishna, O Yadava, etc., without acknowledging his opulence. But Krishna is so kind and merciful that, in spite of such opulence, he played with Arjuna as a friend. Such is the transcendental loving re- reciprocation between the devotee and the Lord. The relationship between the living entity and Krishna is fixed eternally. It cannot be forgotten, as we can see from the behavior of Arjuna. Although Arjuna has seen the opulence in the universal form, he cannot forget his friendly relationship with Krishna.
So now that Arjuna has seen Krishna's opulence, that everything belongs to him, the entire universes belong to Krishna, the entire material creation belongs to Krishna, Arjuna is feeling bad because, they were friends. And then Arjuna is coming from the Kuru dynasty, they were the emperors of the earth. Whereas the Yadavas, they were like just kings of a small kingdom. So it's kind of like in a kind of, oh, I'm a Kuru, oh, you are a Yadav. You're just a Yadav. I'm greater than you. Friends usually have that kind of, sometimes they have that kind of dealing. So Arjuna is like, oh my God, I called him. I was just thinking he's just like an ordinary king, and here he's the supreme controller, and the entire material creation belongs to him. But in spite of this realization of the supreme position of Krishna, Arjuna still has this attachment to Krishna as a friend. That's his eternal loving relationship with Krishna. And just as Arjuna has an eternal loving relationship with Krishna, each and every one of us also have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna in either of the five rasas, in neutrality or in as a servant, as a friend, as a parent, or as a conjugal lover. Each and every living entity has an eternal relationship with Krishna. We may have forgotten this relationship, but it doesn't mean the relationship does not exist. Just like a child may run away from the house and forget his father, but does not mean that his relationship with the father is broken. The relationship continues. So that is our position and Krishna's position, that we have a loving relationship with Krishna. Okay. So we're going to go on to the next one. Okay. Pitasi lokasya characharasya tvamasya pujyascha gururgariya natvat samosti abhyadhikakutonyo
Natva,
lokadrai. Yes.
natvat
Loka
samosti abhyati kakutenyo.
लोकात्रयेऽपि अप्रतिमप्रभाव
लोकात्रयेऽपि अप्रतिमप्रभवा. Translation. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds? O Lord of the immeasurable power, the supreme purpose, the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna is worshipable as a father, is worshipable for his son. He is the spiritual master because he originally gave the Vedic instructions to Brahma, and presently he is also instructing Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Therefore, he is the original spiritual master, and any bona fide spiritual master at the present moment must be a descendant in the line of disciplic succession stemming from Krishna. Without being a representative of Krishna, one cannot become a teacher or spiritual master of transcendental subject matter. The Lord is being paid obeisances in all respects. He is of immeasurable greatness. No one can be greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, because no one is equal to or higher than Krishna within any manifestation, spiritual or material. Everyone is below him. No one can excel him. This is stated in the Shvetasvatara Upanishad. न तस्य कार्यं करणं च विद्यते न तत् समास काभ्यधिकश्च दृश्यते. The Supreme Lord Krishna has senses and a body like the ordinary man, but for him there is no difference between his senses, his body, his mind, and himself. Foolish persons who do not perfectly know him say that Krishna is different from his soul, mind, heart, and everything else. Krishna is absolute. Therefore, his activities and potencies are supreme. It is also stated that although he does not have senses like ours, he can perform all sensory activities. Therefore, his senses are neither imperfect nor limited. No one can be greater than him. No one can be equal to him, and everyone is lower than him. The knowledge, strength, and activities of the Supreme Personality are all transcendental, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvata tyaktva dekham deham punar janma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. Whoever knows Krishna's transcendental body activities and perfection after quitting his body returns to him and doesn't have back again to this miserable world. Therefore, one should know that Krishna's activities are different from others. The best policy is to follow the principles of Krishna that will make one perfect. It is also stated that there is no one who is master of Krishna, everyone is a servant. The Chaitanya Charitamrita confirms Ekale Ishvara Krishna Hara Sabha Vratya. Only Krishna is God and everyone else is his servant. Everyone is complying with his order. There is no one who can deny his order. Everyone is acting according to his direction, being under his superintendence, superintendence as stated in the Brahma Samhita. He is the cause of all causes.
So, Arjuna is saying, you are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation. So, we may wonder who this universe, who has made this world. Here, Arjuna is he's clearly pointing out that Krishna has made. That Krishna is the supreme father of all living entities, moving and non-moving. And then Arjuna is also saying that you are the supreme spiritual master. Krishna, he's the original spiritual master. The Vedic knowledge is spoken first by Krishna. He gives it to Lord Brahma to Narad, Narad to Vyasadev, Vyasadev to Madhvacharya, coming down to Lord Chaitanya, coming down to six Goswamis of Vrindavan, coming down to Srila Prabhupada. And so we are hearing this knowledge in the disciplic succession. It is important to hear the Vedic knowledge in the disciplic succession. And the beginner, the origin of the succession is Krishna, because only Krishna can give transcendental knowledge. We living entities, we have these 4 defects: commit mistakes, we are an illusion, we have a propensity to cheat, and our senses are imperfect. So in that condition, we cannot manufacture any uh, perfect transcendental knowledge. So we need to receive it from Krishna. And then receive it in the disciplic succession from the authorized representative of Krishna. As we say, we want to get a real passport, we have to go to the embassy which is authorized by the country. It's authorized by the government of India. So we have to go to that embassy, not that just anybody we go and they just print us a passport. So we may think that, okay, right now I may not be as great as Krishna, but after I get liberated, I will get as great as Krishna. No, no one can ever be greater than Krishna, or no one can ever be equal to Krishna. Yes, we are all souls, we are all Satchidananda, we are all powerful, but Krishna is the supreme soul. Krishna is supremely powerful. Yeah, so there's no one equal to or greater than Krishna, nor can anyone at any point become greater than Krishna. So understanding Krishna's position, and Krishna says that Janma Karma Chame Divyam. He's saying, try to understand that my appearance, Krishna Janmashtami we celebrate every year. And then we speak about Krishna's Leelas, and then Krishna's beautiful form. So Krishna is saying, just try to understand that this is not material. They are all transcendental. We think, oh, Krishna's body is material, so Krishna's Leelas are material. But no, they are spiritual, transcendental. They appear material to us because our consciousness is material right now. But the more we hear them, the more we get purified, the more we get detached from the material world, the more we are walking towards the spiritual world. And Krishna says that one who can understand that, okay, Krishna's form, transcendental, Krishna's Leelas, transcendental, his qualities, transcendental. Then, after giving up the body, no need to take another body in the material world, can go directly to the spiritual world to be with Krishna in a spiritual body. Yeah. So Krishna's position that he's the supreme lord of everyone, not that he's the supreme lord of only people who are born in this planet, and that he's not the lord of others who are born in other planets. No, Krishna is the supreme lord of every living entity, be they in the spiritual world or be they in the material world. Krishna is the supreme lord. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Ara Samabhritya. Caitaniya Caritamita says that only Krishna is God and everyone else is his servant. Krishna ends his Bhagavad Gita by saying, Sarva Dharmam Parityagya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Krishna ends the Gita by saying, that's his instruction, last instruction, that you surrender unto me. You abandon all varieties of religion and surrender unto me. Means what? It means that Krishna is the master and we are the servant. That's why Krishna is saying, surrender unto me. And Lord Chaitanya begins his teachings with this, that every living entity is eternally a servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarubhai Krishna Nityadas. Jivera Swarubhai Krishna Nityadas. Lord Chaitanya begins his teachings, immediately telling us what is our position in relation to Krishna. That Krishna is the Supreme Lord, we are his eternal servants. Now, in the material sense, we say servant very, very bad because we are materially conscious, so we think on the spiritual platform also is the same. No, but we can see that serve, we like to serve, When we love someone, we like to serve them. We like to do things for them. So, in the perfection is, of course, on the spiritual platform. This loving relationship with Krishna. Krishna is serving the devotee and the devotee is serving Krishna. We can see how Krishna is serving the devotee. He's become the chariot driver of Arjuna. That's like right in the front of the book, like the picture. Krishna is the chariot driver. So Krishna is God, but he's becoming a servant of his devotee. How many of us become the servants of our servant? How many of us become our servant's driver or chauffeur? But Krishna does. So it's a loving relationship. It's not a relationship of manipulation or exploitation. It's a relationship based on love. And each and every one of us has this eternal loving relationship with Krishna. And we can very easily revive this relationship with Krishna in this age of Kali by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any questions, comments? So then let's go on. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam.
Pranamya pranidhaya kayam.
Prasadaye tvam aham ishamedyam.
Prasadaye tvam aham ishamedyam.
Piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyo.
Deva putrasya sakheva sakhyo.
Priya priyarha sidevach sodhum.
Piteva putrasya sakheva sakhyo. Translation. You are the Supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus, I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend, the impertinence of a friend or a husband, the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you. Purport. Krishna's devotees relate to Krishna in various relationships. One might treat Krishna as a son, or one might treat Krishna as a husband, as a friend, or as a master. Krishna and Arjuna are related in friendship. As the father tolerates, or the husband or a master tolerates, so Krishna tolerates.
So here, because Arjuna is feeling that, oh, Krishna is God, and I would call him Yadava mockingly, saying that, oh, I'm a greater king and you're just a small king. Or we were eating together, we were joking together. In joking, I might have, like friends sometimes jokingly may say something to each other. So Krishna is asking, I'm sorry, Arjuna is asking forgiveness. He's saying, just as a father also forgives the son or the husband tolerates, you also please tolerate whatever wrong I may have done to you in the familiarity. When the relationship becomes very familiar, we may say some things, you know. And so Arjuna is asking for forgiveness for that. And again, Arjuna is pointing out the position of Krishna. He's saying, you are the Supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. So we can see how many times Arjuna is saying, Krishna, you are God, you are the Supreme Lord, no one is equal to you, no one is greater than you, and everyone should worship you. So we should try to understand Bhagavad Gita in this, the spirit that Arjuna has understood Bhagavad Gita. That is understanding Bhagavad Gita as it is, as Krishna spoke, as Arjuna understood it. Drishta purvam rishitosmi drishtva.
अदृष्टा पूर्वं ऋषितोऽस्मि दृष्टवा
Bhayena cha pravyatitam mano me.
भयेन च प्रव्यततितं मनो मे
Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam.
तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपम्
Prasida devesha jagan nivasa.
प्रसिद्धदेवेश जगन्निवास. Translation. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead. O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Purport. Arjuna is always in confidence with Krishna because he is a very dear friend. And as a dear friend is gladdened by his friend's opulence, Arjuna is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing that universal form, he is afraid that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Thus, his mind is disturbed out of fear, although he had no reason to fear. Arjuna therefore is asking Krishna to show his Narayana form because he can assume any form. This universal form is material and temporary, as the material world is temporary. But in the Vaikuntha planets, he has his transcendental form with four hands as Narayana. There are innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and in each of them Krishna is present by his plenary manifestations of different names. Thus, Arjuna desired to see one of the forms manifest in the Vaikuntha planets. Of course, in each Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayana is four-handed, but the four hands hold different arrangements of symbols. The conch shell, mace, lotus, and disk. According to the different hands these four things are held in, the Narayanas are variously named. All of these forms are one with Krishna, therefore, Arjuna requests to see his four-handed feature.
So Arjuna, now he's seen the the universal form. And now he's saying, please show me your Narayan form. So, like this, Arjuna is setting the criterion that anyone who says that he's Krishna, that he is the Supreme Lord, should be able to show the universal form and should also be able to show the Narayan form. So we can see that Krishna is the original form and original form of God, and Narayan form is his expansion. So, like just like in this material world, we have so many planets, sun, moon, Swargalok, and all these planets are presided by a ruling deity. Sun planet ruled by sun god, moon planet ruled by moon god, Swargalok by Lord Indra, and so on and so forth. Similarly, in the Vaikuntha sky, the spiritual sky, there are many, many planets. And in each and every of these planets, there is a form of Lord Narayan presiding over each planet. So Narayan has four arms, and Lord Narayan, does anyone know what he holds in his four arms?
Yeah, a lotus in one of the hands
Yeah.
and conch shell
Yes.
A maze.
Yes. And the most famous?
And Sudarshan Chakra.
Yes, that's right. So in 4 arms, Lord Narayan is holding. Now, in different Vaikuntha planets, there are different Narayan forms. And in each of the form, the placement of these 4 symbols is different. Like somewhere he'll be holding the lotus flower in this hand, somewhere in another hand, like that. But they're all Narayan forms. An original form of God is Lord Krishna, Sham Sundar, two-handed, having peacock feather on his head, playing with the cows. So we can see that from Krishna is coming this Narayan form, as Krishna is going to show this form to Arjuna now. So the universal form that does not exist in the spiritual world. There's nothing material in the spiritual world. There is no need of a universal form in the spiritual world. The universal form is here in the material world for the understanding of those of us who are not able to understand that God has a form. And we may think that this universe is all in all. So at least to begin the understanding that God has a form, Krishna assumes this universal form. The lower planets are his legs, and higher, the middle planets around the middle of the body, and the higher planets are on his head. Like, the clouds, the hair on his head, then the trees and the plants are the hairs on the body. His bones are like the mountains, things like that, just for someone who can only understand that this universe exists to help them understand that God has a form. So this universal form does not exist in the spiritual world. So of course, Arjuna was scared also to see this universal form. It's not a pleasant sight. No, first of all, it's so radiant, hundreds and thousands of suns. The Brahma Jyoti is coming out. Kahi can barely see. Then he's seeing everyone going in his mouth, dying, or like there's so much happening at one time. So Arjuna wants to see the Narayan form now. Of course, he's happy that his friend can show him this. Imagine if our friend says, "Hey, I'll show you the universal form," and we'll be like, "Oh my God, you're so powerful. You're the creator of the universe." So, but only Krishna can show the universal form. Why? Because only Krishna is the creator of the universe. Okay. So, reading on. Kirit, no, Kiritinam Gadinam Chakrahastam. Cha.
Kirtinam Gadinam Chakrahastam.
Ichhami tvam drashtum aham tathaiva.
Ichhami tvam drashtum aham tathaiva.
Teneva rupena chaturbhujena.
Teneva rupena chaturbhujena.
Sahasrabaho bhavaveshvamurte.
Sahasrabaho bhavavishvamurte. Translation. O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with clubs, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated, Brahmadi Murtisu Ala Niyemena Tishtan. The Lord is eternally situated in hundreds and thousands of forms, and the main forms are those like Rama, Narsimha, Narayana, etc. There are innumerable forms, but Arjuna knew that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, assuming his temporary universal form. He is now asking to see the form of Narayana, a spiritual form. This verse establishes without any doubt the statement of the Srimad Bhagavatam that Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and all other features originate from him. He is not different from his plenary expansion, and he is God in any of his innumerable forms. In all of these forms, he is fresh like a young man. That is the constant feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who knows Krishna becomes free at once from all contamination of the material world.
Oh, yeah, now he's saying, I want to see of Narayan form, 4 arms with the crown. Krishna, Lord Vishnu has that crown, no, the helmet on his head, club, wheel, conch, lotus flower. The universal form has thousands and thousands of arms, but Narayan form has 4 arms. So Arjuna, he understands that Sham Sundar Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Just like, there is one candle, and with that candle, you can light many, many candles. And all the candles are equal, but yet there is one original candle, and that is Krishna. Sham Sundar Krishna, 2 arm form, having lotus feather in his hair, playing with the cows. And then the Vishnu forms are his expansions. So we are not Vishnu forms. Someone may think, oh, okay, because I'm coming from Krishna, I'm also Vishnu form. No, 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 no. We are not. There's a very difference. We are Jiva Tattva. We are separated parts and parcels of Krishna. Separated. And our size is very tiny compared to Krishna. Although we are great because we are the soul. But compared to Krishna, still we are very tiny because Krishna is unlimited. And we are 1/10,000, the tip of the hair. So, Etecha amsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. This is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. Etecha amsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. That there are so many expansions and incarnations of Krishna. But original God, the original personality of Godhead is Sri Krishna. Like there's Lord Ramachandra, there's Lord Nrsimhadev, there's so many, Lord Vishnu, there's so many expansions, but the original form is Krishna. And all the other Vishnu forms are coming from him. Okay, so Krishna, although he's the original personality, he's the oldest personality, yet he looks always young, fresh. This material body gets old, material body gets wrinkled, but Krishna's body is not material, is transcendental. He looks ever fresh. So Krishna says, Janma karma che me divyam. Try to understand my qualities, my form, my activities. They are all transcendental. And in this way, you can come back home, back to Godhead. So the more we hear, the more we chant, the more purified we get, the more we will be able to understand Krishna, the more we can get free from this material. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Maya prasanena tavarjunetam rupam param darshitamatma yoga tejo mayam vishwam anantamadyam yanme tvadanyena drishtapurvam. Anisha, you want to read?
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjun, happily, have I shown you by my internal potency this supreme universal form within the material world? No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. Purport. Arjuna wanted to see the universal form of the Supreme Lord. So Lord Krishna, out of his mercy upon his devotee Arjuna, showed his universal form, full of effulgence and opulence. This form was glaring like the sun, and its many faces were rapidly changing. Krishna showed this form just to satisfy the desire of his friend Arjuna. This form was manifested by Krishna through his eternal potency, which is inconceivable by human speculation. No one had seen this universal form of the Lord before Arjuna, but because the form was shown in Arjuna, other devotees in the heavenly planets and in other planets in outer space could also see it. They had not seen it before, but because of Arjuna, they were able to see it. In other words, all the devotees, disciplined devotee of the Lord could see the universal form, which was shown to Arjuna by the mercy of Krishna. Someone has commented that this form was shown to Duryodhana also, when Krishna went to Duryodhana to negotiate for peace, unfortunately, Duryodhana did not accept the peace offer. But at the time, Krishna manifested some of his universal forms. But those forms are different from this one shown to Arjuna. It is clearly said that no one had ever seen this form before.
So now Krishna is saying that, okay, I showed you, you wanted to see my universal form. I showed it to you. This form, no one has seen this form. So as we know that Krishna also showed a universal form to Duryodhana, but that was another one. So we can see, the loving relationship between Arjuna and Krishna. Krishna is God. And Arjuna is saying, hey, now can you show me your universal form? Krishna, can you show me your four-arm form? Then again, he'll tell him, can you show me your or your original form? And Krishna is listening. He's reciprocating. As Arjuna desires, Krishna is reciprocating with his desire. It's a relationship. We love someone, they ask us something, we do it for them. So it's a loving relationship. So we may think, oh, because relationships are material, so the relationship with Krishna is material. No, we have to understand that the origin, the reality is all in the spiritual world. Real, eternal relationships are in the spiritual world. Material world is temporary situation. The reality is in the spiritual world because the relationships exist in the spiritual world. That's the reason relationship exists in the material world. Each of us have eternal loving relationship with Krishna. So go on. No Veda Yagya Dayayaner Nadaner. न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रे
न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रे
एवं रूप सख्य अहं नृलोके
एवं रूपा सखे अहम न लोके
द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर
द्रष्टुं तवात् अन्यने कुरु प्रवीरा. Translation. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, Now, by severe penances, can I be seen in this form in the material world? Purport. The divine vision in this connection should be clearly understood. Who can have divine vision? Divine means godly unless one attains the status of divinity as a demigod. He cannot have divine vision. And what is a demigod? It is stated in the Vedic scripture that those who are devotees of Lord Vishnu are demigods. Those who are atheistic, who do not believe in Vishnu, or who recognize only the impersonal part of Krishna as the supreme, cannot have the divine vision. It is not possible to decry Krishna and at the same time have the divine vision. One cannot have the divine vision without becoming divine. In other words, those who have divine vision can also see like Arjuna. The Bhagavad Gita gives the description of universal form, although this description was unknown to everyone before Arjuna. Now we can have some idea of the Visvarupa after this incident. Those who are actually divine can see the universal form of the Lord. But one cannot be divine without being a pure devotee of Krishna. The devotees, however, who are actually in the divine nature and who have the divine vision are not very much interested in seeing the universal form of Lord. As described in the previous verse, Arjuna desired to see the four-handed form of Lord Krishna as Vishnu, and he was actually afraid of the universal form. In this verse, there are some significant words, just like Veda Yajanadhyana, which refers to studying Vedic literature and the subject matter of sacrificial regulations. Veda refers to all kinds of Vedic literature, such as the four Vedas, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva, and the 18 Puranas, the Upanishads, and the Vedanta Sutra. One can study these at home or anywhere else. Similarly, there are sutras, Kalpa Sutras, Mimasa Sutras, for studying the method of sacrifice dana. Refers to charity which is offered to a suitable party, such as those who are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. Similarly, pious activities refers to the Agnihotra and the prescribed duties of the different castes. And the voluntary acceptance of some bodily pains is called tapasya. So one can perform all these, can accept bodily penances, give charity, study the Vedas, etc. But unless he is a devotee like Arjuna, it is not possible to see the universal form. Those who are impersonal are also imagining that they are seeing the universal form of the Lord. But from Bhagavad Gita, we understand that the impersonalities are not devotees. Therefore, they are unable to see the universal form of the Lord. There are many persons who create incarnation. They falsely claim an ordinary human to be an incarnation, but this is all foolishness. We should follow the principles of Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, there is no possibility of attaining perfect spiritual knowledge. Although Bhagavad Gita is considered the preliminary study of the science of God, still it is so perfect that it enables one to distinguish what is what. The followers of a pseudo incarnation may say that they have also seen the transcendental incarnation of God, the universal form, just that is unacceptable because it is clearly stated here that unless one becomes a devotee of Krishna, one cannot see the universal form of God. So one first of all has to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Then he can claim that he can show the universal form of what he had seen. A devotee of Krishna cannot accept false incarnations or followers of the false incarnations.
So Krishna is saying that this form which he showed to Arjuna, this particular form no one else has seen. And he's saying that you go study the Vedas, study them, or you perform big sacrifices, big yagyas, or you give lot and lot of charity, or you try to do some, righteous activity, digging wells, or, you know, hospitals and all, like, taking care of the needy. Or you may do penances like sitting in the winter, dipping in the, like, meditating in like really cold water, or under the blazing sun, lighting a fire and sitting in the middle, like severe penances. He's saying you do anything, all these things, but you can't see the universal form. Only a devotee can see the universal form, because Krishna gives the devotee the divine vision to be able to see the universal form. So, unless one becomes a pure devotee of Krishna, one cannot see this universal form. So, someone may say, oh, I saw this such and such person showed me this universal form. But we have to see that are they pure devotee of Krishna? Because Bhagavad Gita is setting the criterion for us to follow. It's a guidebook for us, and we need to follow it. And not cheaply accept anyone as an incarnation of God, of Krishna, and cheaply accept that, oh, this one saw the universal form of that one. Because one needs to be a pure devotee. So, divine vision. Here, Srila Prabhupada is explaining divine vision means he's a devotee of God, he's a demigod. He's a demigod, he's a pure devotee of God, and only then one can get the divine vision. And so Arjuna is, of course, a pure devotee of the Lord. So getting the spiritual eyes to see, pure devotee of the Lord, his consciousness is spiritual, he's Krishna conscious. So he's able to see the form of the Lord, because he has this spiritual vision. Like, for example, we can't even see the bacteria in front of us. Then we take a particular microscope, and with that we can see. So with that lens, right? So we had to change the vision. Similarly, to see the form of the Lord, we have to change the vision. So the four Vedas, does anyone know what are the four Vedas?
Yeah, the Rig Ved, Atharva Ved, Samved, and Yajurved.
Yeah. And how many Puranas are there?
18.
18 Puranas, yeah. 6 dealing with mode of goodness, 6 mode of passion, 6 with mode of ignorance. And then there are the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra. So one may so what is this? That one may study the Vedas, again, as we said, give charity, one can, do penances, but unless one becomes a pure devotee of Krishna, he cannot see the form of the Lord. So we should not, so for our own clarity of understanding, we should understand this. The criterion is being set here. Arjuna is asking Krishna to show the universal form. Krishna gave the spiritual vision to Arjuna, and Arjuna could see the universal form. Let's stop here for today. It's already. That's all. Any questions or comments?
Hello.
Yes.
See, it was written, no, that universal form was shown to Duryodhan.
Yeah.
It was not shown to Duryodhan when Krishna Bhagavan went for settlement. He asked to give 14 villages. Don't give their palace and everything. Okay, 14 villages. And Krishna Bhagavan ate food in Vidur's house. He didn't accept Duryodhan.
Yeah.
So Duryodhan was king, no? So he told him, इस ग्वाले को बंदी बना लो. That
Yeah.
time he showed his form. So that time also it was so much race. Everyone was not able to see. Only the pure devotees like Vidur, so many, they were seeing and appreciating and bowing and knowing that he is Krishna. But many people don't know. Even Duryodhan, he closed the eyes. He cannot see the race and everything. So I mean to say that Duryodhan, it was not shown. When he tried to बंदी बनाने चाहता ना, तभी उसको दिखाया कि कौन हूं मैं.
That's
और
right. Thank you.
सेकंड यूनिवर्सल फॉर्म तो अभी इतने सारे हाथ पैर ये सब कोई भी देख नहीं सकता है. इसके मुंह में सब जा रहे हैं. कृष्ण अर्जुन को बोले पहले ही मार चुके हैं, बस तू निमर पाट. पर वहां भी एक एक सूर्य को नहीं देखते, 1000 सूर्य थे. इसलिए बोलता है पहले अर्जुन इसकी वाह वाह करता है. आप ब्रह्मा से भी ब्रह्मा के भी वो है, आप आधिपति हो, आप ब्रह्मा के भी पिता हो, सब आपसे ही बनता है ये वो. फिर बोलता है सब लोग डर रहे हैं, मैं भी डर रहा हूँ, प्लीज मुझे आपको है ना चतुर्भुज का ये रूप बताइए. तब बोलता है ओके देखो. फिर लास्ट में बोलता है "तो ये सबसे नहीं देख सकता है." और ये जो वेद वगैरह है ना, वेद ये वो इतने थोड़े किसके पास टाइम थोड़ी है सब पढ़ सकता है. उस सबका जो ज्ञान है ना, सब इस भगवत गीता में चुन चुन के डाला हुआ है. और एसेंस होता है ना, वो वेदों वेदों का जानने योग्य ये वो सब इसमें डाला हुआ है भगवत गीता में. बस यही कहने
Thank
का था.
you. Thank you. बहुत अच्छा.
ओके,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
थैंक यू.
Thank you. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.